quarterback showed up for voluntary workouts. Burrow coming off a year in which he played just 8 games because of a turf toe injury, and Cincinnati missed the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive season. Burrow has a couple new teammates, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Cincinnati traded the 10th overall pick in last month's draft to the Giants for defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. Also boosted their pass rush with former Seahawks defensive end Boye Mafe, and added a pair of veteran safeties to a defense that gave up the 3rd most passing touchdowns last year. Ian, what more can you tell us about this offseason and the way it's unfolded for the Bengals?
Yeah, first of all, great sign to have QB1 in the building. Sounds to me like he was also in the building last week, but just to see the photos of him enjoying himself, a lot of positivity toward the Cincinnati Bengals from Joe Burrow. Don't just take my word for it. He also was quoted recently in Vanity Fair saying he was excited to see the initiative of the Cincinnati Bengals front office. And look, it is a big year, huge year for so many people inside the Cincinnati Bengals building. And they really have gone all in. And it's not just the trade for Dexter Lawrence, which clearly is something that Joe Burrow has supported and appreciated. You mentioned some of the defensive starters, at least 3, Boye Mafe, one of them. I mean, they have spent a lot of money and helped this defense. You know, we spent last year so much of the offseason talking about Joe Burrow's weapons and whether they're going to get new deals and all of that. This offseason was about the defense, making a complete team. It is very clear QB1 is fully on board with this. And you mentioned the health. He's been playing flag football, took the Pro Bowl pretty seriously. This is a very good version of Joe Burrow.
Hawk, so given all of that, how much confidence do you have in the Bengals after all these offseason moves?
Sneaky contender, man. I think when you look at what Joe Burrow does for this team, right, it's everyone understands it. Their offense has always been the thing that has made the Cincinnati Bengals go. But in recent years, their defense is all we've talked about. Well, now Joe Burrow gets to play behind probably the best offensive line that he has in his career. And then when you look at what they did on defense, where there's been mixed reviews, like, did they do enough? Yes, they addressed the front 4, specifically that defensive line, but I think it's like an accelerator to what you're going to get on levels 2 and 3. DJ Turner II played at a Pro Bowl level last year. I think he was a snub. Dax Hill came on strong late last year. They now signed Brian Cook at safety. And the idea is that because of what they've done with the defensive line, he talked about Dexter Lawrence, and they even drafted Cassius Howell, who likely kicks to the second level, that you've done enough to get this defense twice as good as they've been, maybe even more, and so much so that their offense with T. Higgins, with Jamar Chase Brown, you name it, they're going to be able to click and get the full capabilities with the defense that is more than adequate.
You said it, Hawk. This is the best defense Joe Burrow is going to have since 2021 when he was playing in the Super Bowl. Al Golden, the defensive coordinator, will now be in his 2nd year, and they went out and got players to fit his system. That, to me, is a big deal. The trade for Dexter Lawrence is huge because the segment ago, we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it feels like insanity because they keep doing the same thing over and over again. Well, for the Bengals, they changed it up. They made a huge trade, trading away the number 10 pick to get a guy like Dexter Lawrence. They went out there and signed a pair of defensive players that have Super Bowl victories in their past, and Boye Mafe with the Seattle Seahawks and Byron Cook, too, with the Kansas City Chiefs. So now you're bringing a veteran leadership to this team, and it all starts and ends with Joe Burrow. He's going to have to lead this team, and you need a quarterback that can do both. He can show up to the Met Gala and stun with an amazing suit, and he can show up for off-season workouts on Monday and be ready to go.
Okay. I'm getting anxious and antsy. I went on my whole rant and my whole love fest about, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals and, how close they really are to greatness and this or that, and how I've been burned with some of my expectations for them or optimism of them. But it's like, and I kept saying like I'm buying back in. Like they're bringing me back in, and I'm officially brought in. I'm officially 100% all brought in and full believers and supporters of the Cincinnati Bengals of 2026. The idea that this can be the best O-line that Joe Burrow has ever played and the best defense since 2021. I mean, like I went on the whole rant cause it was like they're a hair width away. That like the way how Joe Burrow is as a quarterback and how this offense can hump like they're a hair width away of greatness. And the problem is that the way how this team is unfolded, that it's just like you're ever so slightly off track, it just kind of collapses. But, you know, with them what they have in place, where if they just ever so slightly correct it, it's just automatically elite, you know, and that is what Joe Burrow can bring. And yeah, I've thinking about it more and more, and just listening to more conversations and thinking about the moves that they've made, and like I'm literally just like I'm like running in PL Ace right now. You obviously can't see my legs, like I'm literally just like I'm so anxious about it, cause I'm like I went on a whole rant, and then in the comments section just being like I am, cause I'm trying to let everyone understand like how much greatness we've been robbed from Joe Burrow and the Bengals, and just like what we can see. And I've just you know, I don't think it's wishful thinking here. I'm just very optimistic that as long as they stay healthy, they can. The defense, I said this before, that the defense just has to become, you know, just competent. It could just be the 15th best defense. That's all. That's it. The 20th best defense. I could just anything what it's been. And you know, someone else in the comments section, of course they brought up Patrick Mahomes, because why wouldn't they, saying, you know, cause I was talking about an O-line and saying how Joe Burrow has had a terrible O-line, you know, all this time, and yet he's still absolutely done damage. And they were just like, yeah, well, you know, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have Jamar Chase or, you know, T. Higgins or whatever. And it's just like we've seen what this man has done with such less than ideal circumstances. Like, just imagine what he can do with just a competent defense and a competent O-line. Like, it's just have we really seen that out of this Bengals team, and in any recent memory? Like, have we really been able to see that? No. And so a fully healthy Bengals team, a fully healthy Joe Burrow, a team that's actually competent. I actually just used this quote in my other video, where it's just like, you know, well, Colin always emphasizes you can't be, you don't have to be great everywhere, but you can't be bad anywhere. And I really do actually love that. Like, Colin's got a lot of his lines that he always uses, and I actually really like that one. You know, some of them I'm always like, okay, whatever. But like that one, but it's like, no, I actually wholeheartedly agree with that. And it feels like the Bengals have checked that box, man. And like I said, if the Bengals check that box, then they're elite. Like that's why they're there is no in between for me. They're elite. I was one of those people back in what was it, I guess 24, and everybody was making fun of them, where it's like, if the Bengals can reach the playoffs, they're incredibly dangerous. I did believe that wholeheartedly. And I fun of the people that said the same thing about the Dallas Cowboys, cause I was like, oh yeah, they're the most dangerous team. I was like, I don't buy into that, because there's a fundamental difference between what Joe Burrow brings to the table and you know, what Dak Prescott brings to the table. And again, it's not a knock on Dak. Sorry Grover, if you're watching this video. It's not a knock, but it's just Joe Burrow is so special. This man is so elite, and we've never really truly been able to see a New York momentum building. Like, that's the thing about the Bengals when you really think about how things have unfolded. And again, it's not all on the Bengals, and I'm just such as health, and you know, what are you going to do? But like, we haven't really been able to see any momentum and continuity building from being able to build this foundation and go off of it. It's always been disrupted because of, again, O-line going nowhere, the run game being non-existent, injuries happening to Burrow, whatever, defense, and it's just like never really been able to build off of anything. And the way how this has operated a little bit, this team, weirdly enough, and I don't know why, I can't put my finger on it why I feel this way, but this team weirdly enough feels like one of those teams where it's almost like kind of like, I'll just use the most two recent examples. Like the New England Patriots last year, the Seattle Seahawks last year, where it's just like you made a few changes here and you're like, alright, there's kind of something here, right? Like, kind of like what happened with the Denver Broncos when they add Bo Nix, and you're just like, I'm kind of feeling that. Like, maybe whatever has happened in the past is kind of in the past, and we're kind of moving into a new year, and like normally you have that feeling when it's like you add a new quarterback or you hire a new coach. Right? Like there's a little bit more prominent things happening that make you feel that way, where you're like, okay, Ben Johnson coming into Chicago, he's going to improve Caleb, this offense is going to be better. And like you have that feeling. You have that feeling. For whatever reason I kind of got that feeling with the Cincinnati Bengals right now. Even though like the core of it is still there and it has been there and still obviously, you know, Taylor and whatnot. But like I am going to be so mad if the Cincinnati Bengals burn me again. Like I am going to rip them week after week after week if they prove me wrong, because I am officially planting my flag and saying I believe in the Cincinnati Bengals. They should win the division. They should be bona fide Super Bowl contenders, and it should be, you know, we're talking about the Big Three, the Big Four, top teams that are always competing with each other, specifically in the AFC. It's like, well, there's no reason that the Bengals should be on a level below at this point. Zero reason, and yeah, you know, the idea of this team just being competent. It's like all you do is need them to be competent. And Joe Burrow is so special, so elite that you're going to be right there. And when you're right there in any given moment, in any given game, you Joe Burrow as your quarterback. Like that says it all. It's like you got Joe Burrow. Oh, and you got protection. Oh, and you got a defense that Joe Burrow doesn't have to hang 45 points. Like, oh, and you can get the run game going actually like in a consistent, reliable fashion, and you got Jamar Chase and you got T. Higgins. It's like, and you got a big playmaker on defense like Dexter Lawrence and whatnot. Like, okay. It's like okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm loving it. So I officially am got my both feet down on the ground calling for the Bengals. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared because I never know, are they going to be healthy? What's the story here? Am I believing in, specifically the O-line and the D-line, I guess, for that matter, too much. But, I'm getting off the fence and I'm coming to Cincinnati. Coming to Cincinnati. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Bengals? How are you feeling about them in this moment of time? Are you fully convinced right now? How do Bengals fans feel? 'Cause again, like this is actually the most optimistic and the most excited I've been about the Bengals in a pretty long again. I can't really remember the last time that I really truly believed in them as strongly right now. No like specific time really comes to mind. But right now, it's just like I think even last year, obviously last year was a bit of a mess, and you didn't have Flacco, then you had Flacco, and then Joe Burrow comes back. Like even in some of those moments, it's like you could see the pockets of greatness. You really could. You could see the pockets of greatness. And even last year, that was obviously a mess. And it's not like Joe Burrow was like perfect or flawless, which is understandable, but you just see it. That's why maybe that's kind of why it feels like that this year. It's like it almost feels like we witnessed like a rookie quarterback that just kind of had like a bit of a mess of a year, right? And then it's just like, okay, what's going to be a second year? And they improved on defense and they're improving the O-line. And you're like, yeah, it'll be great. Like that's probably why I maybe have that feeling of like this team is ready to pop, because it's like you could see the potential last season. It was a little bit of a mess for various reasons. And now seemingly the issues that they had this past year, they shouldn't have this year. And not only solved some of those problems, but that were then even able to like take a step forward. Oh, man. I'm excited to see Joe Burrow play in meaningful games again. It's all I want to see, man, with the Bengals. I just want to see Burrow play in meaningful games. I just want to see Burrow. I mean, we thought Stafford and Sam Darnold putting on a show like we thought that was a show. Like do not forget who Joe Burrow is, man. Do not forget who Joe Burrow is. But those are just my thoughts. Eyed up. Solutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Cincinnati Bengals? I think I already asked this before, but you know, my God, I always get distracted when I'm giving my outro. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here. I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.